Today we're talking about how to design your dream life. If you're ready to put together a vision board, but you're not quite sure what to do or where to start, I'm going to share the details for you in this video. All right, welcome back. I want to share with you the 3 steps that you need in order to design your dream life. But before we get there, I want to tell you a little story about how I designed my dream life, and I want to share with you my vision board. So if you've ever created a vision board is basically just it's a board or a piece of paper or poster board where you cut out pictures, words, and anything that represents how you want your life to look. Typically, when I do it, I break it up into 3 sections of who I want to be, what I want to do, and the things that I want to have. And I created my very first vision board several years ago, actually, and I have it right here. I'm going to share it with you guys in just a second. But I created my very first vision board with the idea in mind that I would be a self-employed entrepreneur, that I would be married, that I would be able to travel first class. And so all these things that I said that I wanted to do, I cut out pictures of them. So let me show you what that looks like. There's still a good bit of white space on the vision board. It's not necessarily completely full. I just, chose pictures and things that represented exactly what I wanted. And you can see that it is a little beat up. Some of these pictures are falling off just a little bit, but that's okay. So I want to start with my section of be, do, and have. And I kind of mixed things around just a little bit, but I started with, the person that I wanted to be. So I said that I want to be more efficient, more disciplined, that I would be able to light up a room with my aura, that I wanted to be chic and elegant and be a girl with a mind, a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. And these are all things that I just found from a magazine. I just found the words that really described the type of person that I wanted to be. And I truly feel like I embody that, and that's something that I do daily. And I really feel like creating this vision board and being specific about who I wanted to be allowed me to be a lot more specific and intentional with my attitude, with my personality, with the people that I associate with, and with the things that I do. And the next section this was huge for me, was obviously I wanted to be in love, and not just like in love, but I wanted to have a secure love. I wanted to do a lot of cuddling. I have my ring that I wanted on there. And then also I put on there passion. And at this point, when I had made my vision board, I was not married. And if you guys have seen the video that I did of how I manifested my husband, this was a big part of it, was just being really specific with what I wanted. And in that video, I tell the story of how we met and, how everything happened. But, a lot of it was me actually just being specific with, okay, this is what I wanted. You'll notice that I didn't put a date on there. And actually the girl who is in the wedding dress doesn't have a head, because I wanted to be able to visualize my head on there. So it's not creepy. It's just the way it is. I wanted to go to the Dominican Republic. I have been there. There are 3 more places that I still haven't been. So I probably will take these off of this vision board and put it on the other one. I still want to go to the Cayman Islands, still want to go to Turks and Caicos. I really want to go to India and Belize. And this was just an image that kind of represented how I wanted to feel and where I wanted to be. Is just, having that big open ocean, blue sky, and sitting on a boat is, I think what she's sitting on is, that's basically these are just images that really represent what I wanted to see. And I think this went like that. So let me just fix that. Yep. So that's how that went, just like that. Okay. I also wanted to obviously include more travel. So I have on here flown Delta first class. So that's something I can check off. I do still want to go to the US Virgin Islands. So that's still on the list. And this is an image that is actually something that I have seen. I believe that when we were in the DR, one of the restaurants was very similar to this, where there was, seating right here, and then you could look out onto the water. In the next area, you'll notice that I've got my real estate, my oceanfront home right on the beach. And this is a huge desire. This is right in the middle of my vision board, and it's still a big one for me. I want to be able to look out over onto the water. And this is seeing the sunset. So obviously I'm going to have to face the west, but there is definitely a palm tree there. So I'm not like in the mountains or anything. This is definitely by the beach. Another big, huge thing is I own my business and I put success, building wealth. I put, that's $1 billion in case you weren't sure. But then I also have other numbers on here. I put page views. I was able to find a magazine that had page views. So I put that on there because at the time I was really focused on building my website. I wanted to focus on what makes me happy. I put on here profit and I just put another number there, which obviously I've surpassed that number, but I just put a lot of different numbers on there as well. And then I also put how, I want to be able to give as well. And I have, and not only give, but I want to have that gratitude. I want to be able to treat myself. And this is an area where I feel like I really could have filled things in more as far as like being healthier. I was working out at the time, but then like over time, I feel like I didn't really stick to this as much. And I feel like if I would have put more here, I probably would have stuck to it a lot more. And the next thing was real estate, rentals, growth, and then having a portfolio. And once again, this is just a number. It doesn't have to be the specific number. But as you can see, like my big thing was just having specific numbers on there. So that's what my vision board looked like when I first created it a couple years ago. Now I do at this point have another vision board that I'm actually working on right now. So it's not something that I can show you. Maybe I can show you in an upcoming video, but I'll probably pull some pieces from this board as well as some of the pictures and things that I already have on there that I know I'm putting on there. I also just got a luxury magazine that has a lot of the images and things that I want to put on my board. So I want to share with you, especially as we kind of get into the start of the year, how to start designing your dream life and how to start figuring out what it is that you want so you can go after it, so you can have that life that you've built by design and not have a life by default. And that's always been my goal. My goal has always been to be intentional about what I want. And the reason that I decided that was when I was younger, I used to allow my parents to really steer the things that I wanted to do. Like, for example, there was a college that I really wanted to go to, and then I ended up not going there. There was just things that I wanted to do. And at the age of 25, I realized that if I keep allowing other people to influence my decisions, then I'm always going to look back with regret. Because when you make your own decision, if things go good or if they, go bad, at least you can say it was your decision. But if someone else makes a decision for you and then it goes bad, you're always going to have those regrets. You're going to be frustrated because you're like, well, that wasn't my choice. So the 3 ways that I want to help you to figure out how to design your life are first to start with asking yourself, what do you want? So you got to be really specific with what is it that you want? And doing a vision board is a really great way to get specific with that. Perfect example, and I'll use this sweater as an example, but this is a sweater from a store called Desigual, and there's a story behind this. So when I was first starting my business and I had one of my very first clients, we were in New York because he was going to be on Mornings with Maria. And I was kind of walking around the city and I happened to stop at this store that was brand new to me called Desigual. And as soon as I walked in there, I felt like I was home. Like everything was so different. It was, things were just, they weren't like anything I had ever seen before. And the word Desigual literally means not alike. So basically I'm different and I loved it. And when I went in there, like there was these pair of shorts, and I'll put the picture up. This is the pair of shorts that I really, really wanted to have, but they were over $100. And I remember I posted the picture on Facebook and I said, I really love these shorts, but I had to put them back. And I said, I have caviar dreams, champagne dreams on an H&M budget. And it really hurt to put those shorts back. It really was something where I was like, I haven't made it yet. Like I'm frustrated. Like I'm getting there. And I kept my vision on and I kept meditating on the thing that I wanted, but I knew I wasn't quite there yet. Fast forward to this past year where we went to Panama for a week, and guess what I stumbled on when we got there? A Desigual store. And I remember I walked in and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Desigual, because they don't have one here in Memphis. I think there might be one in Atlanta, but I mean, I live in Memphis, so this is typically where I do my shopping. And I like went in the store and I was like, I like that, and I like that, and I like that. And it was just like that very first time where I saw all these things that I liked. And this time I didn't have to put anything back. So I got several sweaters. I got this sweater, which I really, really like. It's gorgeous. I got this sweater. I got like 3 or 4 other sweaters. I got like all sorts of stuff from that store. Walked out spending a couple $100s. It was just one of those moments where you realize that, wow, I've worked so hard and I finally made it. And so that's the first step in figuring out what you want. My desire when I had to put those shorts back was I want to be able to go into a store and buy the clothes that I want without having to put anything back. Like I want to be able to buy every single thing I wanted. And when I went shopping in Panama recently, I bought every single thing I wanted. I remember picking up one thing after the next thing. And the sales lady was like, I think once she noticed that I was picking everything up and I was like, me gusta todos. She was like, oh, what about this? And I was like, oh, this is cute too. And I was trying so much stuff on. And I like I said, I left with a huge bag of clothes. But I got specific on what I wanted. And that's the first thing that you've got to do if you want to design your dream life. The second thing that you have to do is you have to ask yourself the second question, which is, how will I know once I've got it? So the how will I know once I've got it means, like, if you say, for example, like if I were to look at this vision board again and say, I want a, real estate oceanfront home right on the beach. How will I know once I've got that? Am I renting? Do I own it? Am I living in it for 6 months out of the year? Like what is that thing that's going to let me know that I've got it? The same thing when people say like, I want a successful business. Like, yes, that's what you want, but how will you know when you've got it? What is that successful business for you? And the reason that this is important is because our goals, like we're always desiring bigger and better things. That's just how we're wired as humans. We have a desire to achieve, we have a desire to accomplish, we have a desire basically to survive. And everyone's level of desire or achievement is on like a broad scale. And so it's a little bit different. Some people have a huge desire to achieve and accomplish, and some people's desire to achieve and accomplish is just at the level of survival. But we all desire to live the next day, with the exception of some people, obviously. But we all, for the most part, we desire to live until the next day. We desire to survive. And some people are higher on that scale. They really desire achievement and accomplishment. And if that's something that you desire, you've got to get specific about what is it that you actually want and how will you know once you've got it. So if you say, I want a successful business, how will you know once you've got it? If I say, well, I want to have a healthy body, what does that mean for me? Does that mean that I have visible abs? Does that mean that, you can see all of my muscles? Like, what does that mean? And you've got to get really specific on this. Now, the final question that you have to ask yourself in order to design your dream life is, what steps can you take today to get you that much closer? So it's great to put your stuff on a vision board. It's great to journal it out. It's great to do scripting. It's great to visualize and meditate, and all of that's great. But at the end of the day, you have to choose to take action to back up that decision that you've made. So the question you should ask yourself is, what one small thing can I do today to put me closer to my goal? Okay. And the reason I say one small thing is because a lot of times people will try to like eat the whole elephant in one bite, but life is a journey and you really want to enjoy it along the way. So for example, if one of your goals for the new year is to prepare to get ready for a stage competition, like me, I'm preparing for getting on stage in just a couple of months. If that's one of your goals, then what's one small thing you can do today? I know one thing I can do today is to make sure that I'm drinking my gallon of water, which is why I have my water next to me. I'm actually a little bit behind because that's supposed to be finished by noon, and right now it's 12:16. But that's one small thing that I can do today, is to make sure that I'm drinking my gallon of water every single day. So what is that one small thing you can do today to put you closer to your goals? When you ask yourself those 3 questions, what do I want? How will I know when I got it? And what is one small thing I can do today? You're going to realize that you're going to get closer and closer and closer and closer to your goals. And before you know it, you're going to have the abs that you want. You're going to have the money that you want. You're going to have the relationship that you desire. You're going to have the health that you want. You're going to really be living a life that you have designed. And one day you're going to look around and it's going to look exactly like your vision board. So I would love to hear more from you about what are some of your goals and things that you'd like to accomplish this year. Now, I do touch on this a little bit more. If you're a coach and you'd like to learn more about if booking 5-figure clients is part of the desire that you have, then I have a special training for you. It's all about how to book 5-figure clients. I will leave the details in the description box, and I look forward to seeing you on that training. Once again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.